As real estate agents, the value that you bring to the conversation is going to determine how much you're worth.
What's up, John Dietz?
Bad Goldwasser. Will you lower your fee? All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Today is training day, so get pen and paper, get ready to start taking notes. We have 5 key points today. Go ahead and write this list down for me. First of all, we're going to talk about negotiating your fee today. And the point number 1 I want you to write down is price only matters in the absence of value. Now, we're going to come back and we're going to go deep into each of these conversations. Number 1, price only matters in the absence of value. Number 2, be bold, direct, and unattached. Number 3, understand the motivation behind the sellers who are asking you to lower their fee. And number 4, changing the conversation. Number 5, strategies for overcoming fee objections. All right, let's start with price only matters in the absence of value. We put a whole lot more value on price than consumers do. If you were to ask sellers, for example, what are the most important things to you when choosing a real estate agent, commission would not be at the top of the list. As real estate agents, we're the ones who put it at the top of the list. By the way, if you don't see the value that you bring to the customer, then you're going to lead with lowering your fee. There's a lot of different examples that I can give you without taking too much time to do that. When you go buy a cup of coffee in the morning, you could go to Starbucks or you can go to 7-Eleven. It's pretty much the same cup of coffee. One costs more than the other, but you go into Starbucks, there's always going to be a line. Go into 7-Eleven, there's no line. People are more than glad to pay more for a cup of coffee at Starbucks than they are at 7-Eleven because price only matters in the absence of value. Lexus and Toyota are basically the same cars made on the same assembly lines, yet Lexus is a lot more money than Toyota because the perceived value that we have as consumers will pay more money for the Lexus than we will Toyota. Price only matters in the absence of value. As real estate agents, the value that you bring to the conversation is going to determine how much you're worth. Okay, number 2, be bold, be direct, and be unattached. When you get to the part of listing, the listing presentation, if you study my 14-point listing presentation, commission is not even talked about. It's not even in there. That's because what's your fee? My fee is 3% to represent you in order to get your home sold. Now, understand, because I have to be really careful here and make sure I don't set myself up for any kind of trouble with NAR or so on. I'm not suggesting that you all should charge a certain fee. Just for the purpose of this conversation, let's assume your fee is 3%. It could be 4%, by the way. And when I'm talking fee, I'm talking about your fee to represent the seller. I'm not talking about the total fee that is going to be paid because the fee that is being paid to the buyer is a different conversation. But be bold, be direct, and be unattached. If you start with my fee is negotiable, or my fee is 3%, but it's negotiable, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get the seller asking you to lower your fee. But be bold, be direct, be direct. Oh, by the way, my fee is 3%. That's pretty much my listing presentation, by the way. At the very end of the conversation, are you ready to get started? I haven't even talked about what my fee is yet, and I'm going to get a question. How much is your fee? Oh, by the way, it's 3%. Now, are you ready to get started? Be bold, be direct, and be unattached. If you're attached to the outcome, if you need the deal, then you're going to hesitate when it comes to my fee is 3%, right, Beth? If you are bold, if you are direct, and if you are unattached to the outcome, which means you don't need the deal. You don't need the deal. My mindset when I was selling real estate was I'm going to list 10 homes every month. Whether you hire me or not, I'm going to take 10 seller listings every single month. So this is more about you than it is me. And oh, by the way, my fee is 3%. Number 3, understand the motivation behind why sellers are asking you to lower your fee. So why are they asking you to lower your fee? Because they want to net more money? Because they don't see the value that you bring. They think real estate agents are overpaid. Sellers go to script school and they have very, very few scripts that are in their script book. And one of them is, will you lower your fee? Or you charge too much, or your fee is too high. Any variation of the above. But the bottom line is, it's because they want to net more money. Your conversation with them should be focused on how you are going to net them the most amount of money, not who's going to charge the lowest commission. Everybody with me so far? Can I get a couple thumbs up? All right, just making sure you guys are paying attention. All right, number 4, changing the conversation. So changing the conversation is going from who's going to charge the lowest commission to who's going to net the seller the most amount of money. And netting the seller the most amount of money is about list price to sell price ratio, but it's also how quickly are you going to sell their home? If you could get their home sold in less than 30 days on the market and that limited service discount agent, write it down. It's a script. Throw your competition under the bus. If that limited service discount agent takes 90 days to get their home sold, then that's 2 additional months that they're paying holding cost on that property. Now, if their holding cost is $3,000 a month, for example, then they're paying an additional $6,000 in holding costs. And let's just say the property you're selling is $400,000. And the difference between you and the other agent is 1%. That's a $4,000 difference. They actually lost $6,000 because it took 90 days to sell their home versus 30 days to sell their home. If you could focus on, because you have the best marketing available, because you are a strategic pricing expert, you're going to get a higher list price to sell price ratio, then that's the conversation, not who charges the lowest amount of money. By the way, you should know what are homes selling for in your market. When you meet with a seller, one of the things you should do is go into the MLS and study the MLS. What are homes selling for? In other words, on average, what is the sale price to the original list price? If the sale price to the original list price is 96% and yours is 98% or 99%, that's the conversation. It's not who charges the least amount of money. I'm going to net you the most amount of money. Here's how I'm going to do it. One of the ways that I'm going to do it is because I'm going to strategically price your home in order to beat the competition. And because I am an expert at marketing your home to the right buyers, I'm going to sell your home in an average of less than 30 days on the market. And as you can see, show them. There's a big difference between show and tell. Show them that the average home is selling in 90 days on the market now, or 120 days on the market. And you're going to net them more money because you're going to get their home sold faster and for a higher percentage of the original list price. All right, strategies for overcoming objections. Number 1, isolate. When you hear an objection, isolate. Now, the script that you're going to learn from most of the real estate companies that you're a part of or were a part of, or if you're coaching, most of them are going to tell you to ask other than, this could be anything, other than the price, other than days on market, other than how long my list agreement is, other than the commission. Is there any reason why you wouldn't hire me today? Seller says no. Now, I want you to turn this into a close. So instead of saying, other than my fee, is there any reason why you wouldn't hire me today? I want you to say exactly this. If I were willing to lower my fee, would you hire me today? Now the seller says yes. You've turned the isolate the objection to a close. So if I were willing to lower my fee, Matthew, would you hire me today?
I would, John.
Awesome. All right. Set your competition up for failure. So Brian, I know that you're going to meet with other agents. And because I know you're going to meet with other agents, you're going to meet with somebody who really needs to list your home. Now, the good news for you is I don't need to list your home. Now, please don't take that the wrong way because I really want to work with you. However, if I needed to list your home, I would tell you anything you wanted to hear in order to put a sign in your front yard, even if you're going to lose. That's a win-lose and you lost. Now, I still win, whether your home sells or not, because that sign is going to generate buyer calls. I'm going to convert those buyer calls to buyers who are working with me, and I'm going to sell those buyers homes. In other words, I'm using your home in order to attract buyers so I could sell more homes, but you lost because your home didn't sell. Now, you're going to know when you're meeting with that agent who really needs to list your home because they're going to tell you anything you want to hear, including price and commission, in order to get your listing sold, in order to get your listing. Now, I don't need to list your home. However, and pay attention to how I'm saying that, guys, okay? Because of the silence between I don't need to list your home and however, I really want to work with you. It's important that you allow them to sit in that moment. I don't need to list your home. Quiet. However, I really want to work with you, and that's why I'm here. You see, if I needed to list your home, okay, you guys got that. Number three, the best negotiator wins. So Matthew said, yes, John, I would hire you. Now, the Rainmaker playbook tells me the rest of that play is Matthew. Can I share with you why that concerns me?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. You see, Matthew, if I were willing to lower my fee, to take money that I use to support my family, pay attention to the pace, tonality, every part of this matters. If I were willing to take money that I use to support my family and give away that money in order to get the listing, how quickly would I give away your money when we have an offer on your home? I'll pause again. And the rest of the play is, you see, Matthew, I know the asking price is 400,000. That's the price you gave me. However, I also know that you'll take 380 because you told me that's your bottom line. You said, John, I'll take $380,000, but that's my bottom line. If you hire that limited service discount agent who's willing to give away their money in order to get your listing and they get an offer for 370, what stops that agent from saying, that's great, because I know they'll take 380. Now you just sold your home for $380,000. What if you hired me? Pay attention to the embedded commands, by the way, guys. What if you were to hire me and I got you $400,000, you lost $20,000 trying to make an extra $4,000. Now, Matthew, how do you feel about that?
I don't feel good, John.
Okay, so what should we do?
I think we should go with you.
Okay, that's it. And it goes just like that. Raise your hand if you've been on a listing appointment. Boy, I'm taking a chance here. No hands go up. I don't look good. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've been on a listing appointment and you've used that and you got the listing. All right, great. No hands went up. Maybe I need to spend a little bit more time on this. Sean, are you raising your hand because you've used it?
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. There's one. All right. So let's go back and do this again, okay? If I could sell your home for 400,000, that limited service discount agent sold your home for 380. You lost $20,000 trying to make an extra 4,000. How do you feel about that? Their response has to be not good. What are they going to do? Say good? Oh, I feel great. I think that's amazing, John. I don't want to lose $20,000. Of course, their answer is going to be not good. What should we do? Hire you. Promise you, Jim, promise you, Beth, Nicholas, Stephen, this works. Use it, Michael, thank you for nodding your head. Absolutely use it exactly the way that I'm using it. This works. This is what I did, taking 10 seller listings every single month for more than 15 years, selling over 100 homes, rarely discounting my fee. All right. Number 4, set the goal, guarantee the results. All right, let me explain that. So, David Pruitt, you want $400,000 for your home. As we have found out, the average home in our market right now is selling at 96% of the asking price. If I can't get at least 98% for your home, that's my guarantee. If I can't get at least 98% for your home, I'll lower my fee.
How can you do that?
So when we have an offer on your home, if I need to give up money in order to make the deal work, I will, because I'm a deal maker, not a deal breaker. And I'll put in writing that I guarantee my fee is 3% as long as I get 98% for your home. If I get less than 98%, I'll lower my fee.
Great. Let's go.
Okay, there you go. Now, that leads to negotiate in dollars, not in percentages. And then I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions here, okay? So when you think lowering your fee, all of you think in percentages. I guarantee it. You think in percentages. My fee is 3%, or it's 2.5%, or it's 2%. Now let's go back to that $400,000 home. If I gave up $1,000 in order to get your home sold, am I lowering my fee? Say yes. Now, 0.5% of $400,000 is $2,000. So if you lower your fee even by 0.5%, you gave up $2,000. I only gave up $1,000, but $1,000 is a lot of money. Shannon, if I were willing to give up $1,000, would you accept the offer that you have in front of you? Shannon says yes. I lowered my fee. but I didn't lower it by 1% or 0.5%. The same thing would be true if I lower my fee by $500. I'll tell you what, Debbie, we're $2,000 apart. What if I throw in $500? If I'm willing to lower my fee by $500, would you accept the offer? Now I lowered my fee by $500. I'm still giving up money. I'm a deal maker, not a deal breaker. If you're asking me if my fee is negotiable, the answer is yes. When we have an offer, you guys get that? If you're asking me if my fee is negotiable, the answer is yes. When we have an offer on your home, if I need to give up money in order to make the deal work, I will, because I'm a deal maker, not a deal breaker. And after all, that's what you want. You want to net the most amount of money. You want to sell your home in the shortest period of time. And I've proven by showing you, because of my marketing, because of my strategic pricing, I'm going to sell your home in less time for more money. Are you ready to get started? All right, guys, raise your hand. Talk to me. Believe it or not, that's 9:23. I don't know if that went as fast as I thought it did, but it went fast for me. Sean, talk to me.
Talk a little bit about a volume play. Let's say your client wants to do a 1031 exchange and they want to buy $1 million property, but they got to sell two $500,000 properties to get to that $1 million property. And they're like, no, I need you at 2% because you're getting multiple deals, et cetera, et cetera. How does the script play out? Is it the same? Any tweaks?
There's a couple tweaks here, and there's a couple different conversations. So thank you for that. First of all, I'm more than glad to give them a discount for multiple deals. But let's say I've got somebody who's selling their home and they're buying a home. They're selling a $500,000 home and they're buying a $1 million home. Rather than lowering my fee on the $500,000 home they're selling, I'll lower my fee on the $1 million home they're buying. In other words, they have to sell their home and buy with me in order to get that discount. Most real estate agents don't think that way. They think lower your fee on the listing and then you'll get the buyer. What happens if they don't buy with you? You lowered your fee on the listing. You got nothing on the buyer side. So if you're going to give them a discount, give it on the buy side, not on the list side. Here's the other thing. If somebody's saying, well, I'm selling a $2 million home with you, John, gee whiz. 2% of $2 million is still a lot of money. It's just too much. 3% is too much. If anything, I should charge more than 3%. Here's why. It's going to take more money to market your home. It could take longer to sell your home. So I've got expenses that I wouldn't have if it were a lower priced home. And I'm taking all the risk. In other words, there's no guarantee your home is going to sell. And I'm going to spend a lot of money, whether it does or not. By the way, one of the ways we attract buyers to your home is in how we pay the buyer's agent. One of the things that we should do is offer more money to the buyer's agent, not less money, in order to attract more real estate agents to your home. So if anything, we should raise your fee, not lower your fee. Okay, Chad, talk to me.
What's up, John Dietz?
Chad Goldwasser, rockstar.
God, I've missed you. I have missed you. Thank you, Brian Copeland, for sending me the info about this call. John, I wanted to share a script, if you don't mind, that I utilize that I think will be very useful to these friends of ours.
Do it.
So say, just you play with me. Will you lower your commission? Ask me.
Will you lower your fee?
We don't actually do that. But what I can do is what is called the performance-based commission structure, John. Here's how it works. We're going to list your home at 10 million, right?
Yes.
Excellent. When I sell your home for 10 million or more, I will take my full fee and we'll pay the buyer agent as well. If for some reason it sells between 9.5 and 10 million, I'll give you a 0.5% discount. And if it sells for anything less than that, John, which is not going to happen, then I will reduce my fee by 1%. Does that sound good?
I'm ready to go.
Excellent.
So
thank you. Good to see you, John.
Rockstar, Chad. Rockstar. What Chad did as number 4, set the goal, guarantee the results. It's exactly the same thing. I like the way he did it more than what I shared with you. So guys, write down what he said. This is recorded. It will be on my YouTube channel. So go watch the video. By the way, if you're watching my YouTube, if you're going to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Selfish plug. Sorry. All right. Questions for me. Comments, thoughts. You got 3 minutes. Let's go. Talk to me, Michael.
So I just want to mention, great call this morning as far as talking about pricing. So I'll just give you kind of a real life example. But yesterday, Duncan and I don't think Duncan's on the call this morning, but you know who Duncan is. He's an agent in here in Maine. He's been joining my team. We took a listing for about $1 million, right, off an expired call with him. And when we got to the pricing, we do charge 3% for a listing, even at that price point. And that's the price that we gave them. There was no price objection. They did mention that the other agent they work with pre-expired was charging them a 4 total, but all we had to say was, yeah, but we're here right now and you were on the market for about a year. So that's not really applicable, is it? And they were like, there was no pushback at all. Right. So I guess the point I want to make is that the 14-point listing presentation, which we ran exactly the playbook. Duncan did, he's not in the call. Duncan did it just 3 things will happen, et cetera, just by the book. If you run the 14-point playbook and you deliver a compelling marketing presentation, I rarely get pushback on my when I put my price out, right? So, but to have this in your quiver is super important, right? So to know that's the direction you're gonna take the conversation. But a well presented listing presentation where you're showing, like you said in the beginning, in the absence of value, price is irrelevant. When you show that value and you can articulate it and demonstrate it, I'll rarely get a pushback on price. And this is hundreds of listings, rarely.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm. And Michael, you've got to be unattached to the outcome. You've got to be willing to walk away. Mm-hmm. And if you're willing to walk away and they feel that you truly don't need to list their home, that gives you strength, power. You're a better negotiator. By the way, what are you doing when you are negotiating for your fee? What are you doing?
You're demonstrating your ability to negotiate for them.
That's right.
When you're in the fray of the offers.
That's right. That's right. And if you can't even negotiate your fee, how good are you going to be at negotiating the highest price for them? Michelle Hendricks, what's up? It's good to see you here.
Hi, good to be back.
It's great to see you here. All right, guys, give me a thumbs up if you got value today. Thank you for that. I've got 9:30. That's a wrap. Again, this will be on YouTube. Please go watch it, share it with your friends, invite your friends. By the way, we were too short of going over 100 today, so almost made it. Let's keep growing the group. Proud of you guys. Go crush it, everybody.
John, my buddy was in the car, so we were at 99.
There we go. Boom, boom.
Ah! Damn it. I'll go find someone else right now.
All right. There we go. Make it a great day, everybody.
Thank you, John. Good day, everyone.
Hundreds of agents have leveled up their systems and listings with Coach John's coaching. Your turn starts here. Scan the QR code to schedule your session.